Good morning, Dan. I see you're enjoying a morning beverage.
I am. My
Yeah.
standard morning
Your
beverage.
standard morning beverage is coffee. This morning, I'm enjoying something a little different.
Oh,
My
wait.
mother-in-law gifted me some dried chocolate basil.
No,
Wait,
no.
da, 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 da. It's drinking like peppermint tea.
Even more no.
Fine.
No, we
I'm enjoying.
discussed
I
this.
I didn't ask you to
Tea
enjoy. Good
should
news.
taste
I'm
like
not sharing with you.
tea should
This
taste
is
like
my
tea.
little.
Coffee should taste like coffee.
I
That's
think
it.
it's a matter of opinion of what tea tastes like. Think about all of the
Okay.
varieties of tea in the world.
Yeah. Well, yes, but tea, they're fine as long as they're tea. Don't put shit in it. Just I feel strongly
There's
about
no
it.
shit in it. This is
I feel
just chocolate basil. It is the
that,
most
that's chocolate
lovely
and basil.
herby.
That's
It doesn't taste chocolate. That's the funny thing. It's minty.
all right. Michael, do you have a conundrum for us? Is there a problem that we are supposed to resolve
Beyond my tea, my
other
choice
than
of beverage this
Gail's
morning.
poor choice of beverage when she has all sorts of better options?
I was gonna say, I mean, it sounds like you're already dealing with a conundrum here.
Well, but you know what? Well, yes. And to segue into this, this is one of the classic issues whenever there are conflicts between humans.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this, Dan.
It's it's a difference. It's not
Different.
a right or wrong. I like my coffee to be just coffee. I like my tea to be just tea. Gail likes her tea with basil and chocolate in it. That sounds disgusting to me, but that's fine if she likes it. No disparagement, by the way, to her mother-in-law, who is in fact
A
Michael's
lovely human.
a
Oh, and
lovely
Michael's
person.
mom.
And Michael's mom. But it's a difference in how often people in coworkers, friendships, relationships, whatever, get like so caught up in those differences being right and wrong instead of just being differences. No, if you gave me tea with chocolate and basil, I would probably go, oh, this is okay, but then I would rather have a cup of tea. But like, others, Gail would love it, and apparently does.
You might surprise yourself. It's very lovely.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Okay. We
But
be,
this is the classic problem that people run into in all
in
in
all relationships.
in
Yes.
all relationships where like my way of doing it feels right to me, and sometimes it's like other people's way of doing it, while it is right for them, almost feels like offensive to us. Like when I got
Given
super
your
assertive,
reaction,
my reaction, my
your
reaction
visceral
to
reaction
my
to
visceral
no.
negative reaction to your tea like was what felt didn't it feel a little off-putting?
Yeah, it was a little like, no, Dan, I want you to try this. Now, and
Right.
even more, if you
Right.
had had a mild reaction, I've been like, fine, I'm good.
Yeah.
But the harder you stamped your foot about it, the more I want you to
The
try it.
more the more you wanted me to try your tea.
Mhm.
Like you gotta try this. You gotta try it. You were
Right,
trying to
right.
convince me. And I'm like, no
Mhm.
matter how good it tastes, it still won't be good to me because I'm stuck in my position that it's wrong. And that's like the classic conflict.
It is. It's
We talk about
very
it a
well
lot
done.
here. I know.
Wow.
Wasn't that a
Dan,
nice
you're
way?
like on fire for a
It's
Sunday
like I'm a
morning.
professional or some shit.
Don't try this at home.
And what's
Michael,
important though is you
tell people
guys didn't, even though Dan, you disagree with Gail, you didn't say you're wrong for liking tea that way.
Well, he
You
might
said,
have. We'll
no,
rewind
well,
the
it
tape and
was
we'll
no,
actually check. He might have actually called me, called it wrong.
no, she's wrong for liking that. That's just appalling.
fair enough. All
Oh my
right.
And
Well,
goodness.
I'm
All
and
right.
I'm seeing my assumption, Michael, is that your mother doesn't like her daughter-in-law because she gave her this tea.
She treasures me. I don't know what you're talking about. She
Dude,
shared a
why would you give
small
someone
amount of her
why
valuable
would you
chocolate tea.
why would you give
Stop
someone you
it.
loved and cared about tea? Like
She's gonna give us mailbag
awful. How
letter
awful.
about how awful my co-talent is.
I just want to deeply apologize to Michael's mother for any disparagement there. It was meant purely in jest. I hear you're a lovely person from both your son and your daughter-in-law.
Oh,
Michael, what do
Michael,
people
what did you
want
find
to
on the internet? Save
yeah,
Dan,
for
please.
sure. Well, and for people who this is their first episode, I apologize, but
It's
you
gone
should
off the
know.
rails entirely.
Essentially, what's happened is I've gone out on the internet somewhere and I found something that I was amused by and that I wanted to put in front of Dan and Gail and see what they came up with. So the
And that it's
scenario
not
is
about tea.
It's not about tea, although it could have been because I never tell you guys what it's going to be about. It would have been one of these days. I'm going to have a prompt that is going to directly coincide with what you're talking about, and it'll be totally accidental. But
Wonderful.
anyway, I've gone through and I've de-identified the post as best I can. And if you're also new, stick around through the credits. We always have some kind of bonus conversation. So, but the prompt today is, am I the asshole for telling my friend that he shouldn't have used AI to write a memorial?
Yes.
Maybe.
We're disagreeing again. Maybe.
Well,
Michael,
I
fill in
don't.
the details.
It kind of depends, right?
No.
It depends on the way you. All right. Well, let's hear. All right. That maybe your opinion will change.
I hope it will. I
All
hope
right.
there are more details because this feels open and shut. Michael. All right.
Yeah.
Turn my opinion around. Give me some asshole details.
Sure. So
Oh,
this
that's
is
not
what I
bad.
got.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna jump in. For it. Sometimes telling someone that they've done something wrong is a loving, caring act. And so it's possible that this was done in a loving, caring way.
It may be. And although it may come from a loving, caring space, keep it to yourself. A, maybe you weren't asked. B, maybe we have a dyslexia or dysgraphia here and we really struggle to write and we want something that looks really beautiful. You know, we need details, Dan.
Okay. All right. I just, all right. Go ahead, Michael.
AI as a tool can be a beautiful thing.
Yeah. But being critical of someone? All right. Wait. Michael, tell us the story.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah, this one unfolded in interesting ways, but this is what it says. I'm part of a volunteer sports team, and one of my teammates who manages our club's social media because they want it on his resume wrote a public memorial for a club member who had passed away. It felt hollow and honestly totally AI generated, a bland wall of text that didn't reflect the person at all. I shot him a DM saying he shouldn't have used AI and offered tips to make AI sound more human. Yeah, I was blunt, maybe rude, but I felt that a memorial should come from the heart and not a machine. He got defensive, played the I didn't use AI card, and then accused me of being disrespectful because it was a memorial. Afterwards, I couldn't shake the nagging feeling that I might have crossed the line. Sure, he's trying to build his social media skills, but using AI to memorialize someone, it felt like ascribing zero emotion effort to a human's memory. I paused. Was I the asshole for calling him out, or was the real problem the automated, soulless tone of that message?
He's asking the wrong question.
Yeah. What are you thinking the correct? 'Cause I think I got the correct question in my mind.
Should I have called anybody out for how they wrote the memorial?
No.
You don't belong there. What's the question you should have asked?
Well, am I the asshole for accusing someone of using AI without knowing?
It's a good question too.
I mean, no.
Dan, you're speechless. I think this guy got wrapped into the emotion of a fellow club member that I think he probably had a close relationship with and felt deeply offended that this memorial didn't have more emotion and depth and just frankly didn't like it. Regardless of the reason or how it came to be, didn't like it. But this guy crosses the line when he then sends the DM and offers feedback, unless someone has said, hey, I've written this memorial. I'd love the team's feedback before I publish it. You don't belong in that space. If you want a memorial that is in depth and kind and effusive about your friend, write the damn memorial. There is nothing that says that you can't also write a memorial. Stop it. Get off this guy's back. It doesn't matter that it wasn't well done.
Right. Well,
I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Like, you don't get the right to criticize them. They didn't ask you for your opinion. It's a crossing of boundaries.
I think that there are times when, I mean, here's a question. I guess I'm unclear. And when did the post go? Did the post go up and was it live?
I think so.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a bit of a different situation.
And right, the horse is out of the barn.
Yeah, I mean, if he says if he reviews it, if he's about to publish it, and he's like, let's say, I mean, Gayle, when we do our web page, we write the text, we send it to our web guy, And our
Who is
web
Michael,
guy,
by the way?
yeah, Michael, then posted. Now, if we send it to him and he's like, you know what, this is bad, like I would want him to come to us and say this is bad.
For sure. But
Absolutely,
you're
but that's a different
asking for
situation.
feedback.
No, even if I'm not asking for feedback, even if I'm
Oh,
just saying, "Hey, Michael, this text is terrific. You post it," and
mm.
he reads it and like, "I think this sucks." I
I
think he should
still
come to us and
think
say it.
because in that situation, we are working as a team, and
Okay.
the
Yeah.
implicit ask, the implicit
Mhm.
expectation is feedback. This stinks. Go
Right.
again. Fine.
Right.
Or sounds too AI generated. Because we're a team and we're putting out a team product. Our work, Dan, is one big group
Right.
project.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So
But even
I
if,
just
yeah,
no,
I
unless
think
he
in
had
this
said,
case,
"Hey, I wrote this thing. What do you think?" Which, by the way, my husband is actually kind of a prolific writer of all
that's
kinds of
right.
different
He
things,
writes a lot of things.
including
He's a writer.
memorials and eulogies and all kinds of things, and has come to me and said, "What do you think of this?"
Right.
Right?
So I mean, I'm going to agree in this particular case. I think that there's definitely a place for telling someone, you know, I really don't like what you've written. I think I might, were I to have offered feedback, it wouldn't have been, you shouldn't have used AI for this. It would have been, you know, I'm reading this and I'm looking for a sense of who Joey was. I shouldn't say Joey because I got a Joey on my curling team and I feel,
Oh, dude, I was going to
and
say
he
Joe
listens
though.
to
So
these
to be
too.
fair, I was going to
Let
give
me
you the
say
name
Joe.
Joe.
Just for the record, Joe, I'm not talking about you if you're listening. Um,
And I hope you're listening.
yeah, I know. And
'Cause
so,
I
but
hear
like,
you're a big fan.
so it's not the same guy. We'll just say Joe instead of Joey because I think. If you want to get a sense of who Joe is, like who is it, and if I had someone on my who wrote something about a teammate of mine and there was just nothing there, I might have said, you know, I just don't hear Joe in here. I don't hear what's going on for him. Like I want to understand what's going on. I like it. If we're memorializing someone, we should memorialize them. I don't know that I would have accused him of AI
Well,
unless I
and you
knew that he was
shouldn't
AI.
have,
The
because
accusation
when
really crosses
you
the line.
right. Accusations and attacks have no place, especially in a first volley when giving
Right.
feedback, right? If
Right.
you have a complaint about your relationship partner, don't start at an attacking place. You start
Yeah.
in a place of assuming positive intent, maybe with appreciation. Hey, really appreciate
And
you taking the lead on getting the memorial started for Joe. Wonder if you're open to some feedback, or are you ready to maybe even hear some other things that could flesh that out a little bit? But
and
you ask permission.
the writer may have just been kind of a shitty writer. Like, he may not
Maybe
be
he's a
using
shitty
AI at
writer.
all. He may have just been a shitty writer, or he didn't know enough about the person to eulogize. I've been to ceremonies where like the officiant actually didn't know the guy and he tried to like
Mhm.
slap together a eulogy, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
dead
this,
ass wrong.
you don't know that you really you're not. So I mean, there is a way of giving, and I do really believe in the value of caring criticism, of caring
Mhm.
when the goal is to help a person get better, not to tear them down. I think it can be lovely to
Yeah.
provide.
I just think this guy's emotion about his friend got in the way and he did not deliver effective critical feedback. So neither of us are disagreeing that critical feedback can be a really useful tool, and something done really caring can be supportive and growth oriented. That's not the issue here. It's how do
Yeah,
you do it? And there is a very specific skill set you need to be able to provide critical feedback so that then it positions the other person to grow, and that includes making sure that you have a receptive audience for this.
great. Agree. No, I in this particular case, he was. Oh, I'm gonna say that OP was absolutely out of line
I,
in his
and I
criticism because it didn't have there was no value in it. It didn't improve the situation at all. All it served to do was to offer punishment. And when we
yes.
offer feedback, there should be a function of it beyond just telling someone they did something wrong.
So what do you think? He's come back to the internet and said, "Am I the asshole?" But I sort of feel like he is really trolling for, "No, dude, no,
Yeah.
you did the right thing." So then I start to think, dude, you kind of are an asshole. Or, you're
Mm.
like, in terms of the continuum here, it's a lot higher on that asshole spectrum, if you will, than if you hadn't gone to the internet with the tone of, actually, I'm right. And I just need the internet to agree with me. Like, I don't like that tone at all.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we've got a lot of episodes. By the way, listen to our old episodes. We have a lot of episodes here, and one of the things that we often look at is OP going, "Gosh, I'm really worried about this. I want to know." Is OP saying, "I think I really screwed this up, and I'm looking for some feedback," or is OP,
Accountability.
yeah, is OP going like, "Hey, I'm right, and these sons of bitches are telling me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Back me up here." And this guy sounds a little bit like he's looking for some backup on his screw up, and I'm not going to give it to him. So,
Well said.
I thought that was well said.
Like, I really just boom,
Yeah,
drop
yeah.
the mic.
That was yeah. We got it. All right, cut right there. We're done. No, seriously. What did so Gail and I both agree? It sounds like
Yes,
we both
enthusiastically.
think
Actually,
that this guy is out of line, and
by the
that
way,
he's not looking.
I was right.
Absolutely, you were. I'm going to defend myself a little bit, though.
Oh, okay.
I think sometimes the most caring thing we can do is tell someone we care about that they're screwing up, and I just see that error made. I think of this as like in the old days of, I don't even know if American Idol is still on. I watched it when it first came out. I loved it. You get these people and they would be singing like, and I can't carry a tune to save my life. But even I was listening going, oh my, like this is, and they get on, all my friends encourage me to come and try out because they also know I'm a great singer. And I'm like, your friends are not good friends.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because they've led you way astray.
It's one thing to be supportive of someone's dreams. It's another thing to lie to them and harm them. And there's sometimes a fine line between, hey, thanks for making me dinner. I really appreciate all the effort. And this is, and like, oh my God, this is amazing when you can barely choke it down.
Right.
And I think sometimes it is much more caring and much more loving to say, to give that feedback that's positive, but also helps a person to improve.
Yes. Or say nothing at all. I was talking to Michael the other day about, you know that I don't love it when I'm like, oh, you got a haircut. Sorry to anyone that I might have said that to.
Yeah, I'm going to say at some point you've said that, I'm sure.
No, I totally.
Wow, this is dinner. Thank you. You made it. You did it. You cooked this dinner. That's terrific. Thank you so much for cooking a meal and preparing.
Getting it all together.
Food. Yeah, you assembled that.
I'm not at all frustrated about any other aspect of things.
Michael, what did the internet say?
Yeah, the internet was, I mean, they were definitely more on the side of him not being an asshole.
What?
Which was, I know, kind of
because we can shit on AI. I mean, that is kind of a favorite topic, is to blindly just take after AI. You shouldn't use it. It's going to take over. So, like, I think it's an easy path.
Let's hear what they have to say.
There was two reasons why they were angry. One was definitely they definitely saw AI and then got angry and talked about the problems with the AI. The other one really said, got hooked on that idea of what a memorial should look like, and that it does need to be heartfelt. And the few people who kind of stood up to those people, basically said, like, it's hard to write that, especially if you are close to somebody. And so sometimes having an objective third party help you piece something together is the way through it. There were all these side conversations also about this guy's intentions. Like, is he just trying to grow his social media presence so he can add it to his resume and get jobs in that? And anyway, but overall, they decided this guy was not the asshole for calling his friend out. So,
so first off, they're not wrong about it should be heartfelt. It shouldn't be AI written. It should be personal. All of that's correct.
Oh, for sure.
It's whether or not he should have called him out and specifically said you used AI when the guy said he didn't.
Yeah. Well, and I also feel for the friends who are like really looking at this guy going, you're just looking to grow content here. So it may have felt disingenuous because he was just looking for an opportunity to post something, which does feel kind of gross.
Yeah.
What I will say that this guy did not well, but like the issue I don't have here is that he did it in a DM. He didn't then double back around into the public chat and say, "Hey, dude, da 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 da." He took it offline, off to a separate conversation or in a separate room, as it were, to provide that criticism. So I do appreciate that piece of this story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there were a couple other people who said everybody sucks here, which was a very small minority, but I felt like maybe that was the better approach because the guy, if you question his motives and why he did this and whether it was a heartfelt memorial or not, and then you also question the guy and how he called his friend out and the accusations he made, then maybe everybody does suck there. But
yeah, I could see that argument as well. By the way, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah,
because it is shitty to write a bad. If he's capable of writing it, and he did, like, let's go back and say, like, if he did use AI, and he didn't put his real feeling into it, then yeah, everyone's shitty there.
Yeah, or if he's doing it just to grow his social media channels, like that is shitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we didn't take that part of the conversation up. We really focused on this other dude's
We didn't.
on the OP's actions, but we I think we are in lockstep agreement that some aspects of what the writer of the memorial did was not.
Was that a line? No, I'm staying with that. I'm not that the internet hasn't moved me off of, like, in that moment, I don't feel like calling out the other person was done for a productive or useful or helpful way. It was just done to vent one's spleen, which I don't think is particularly useful.
Vent one's spleen. Wow.
I've never heard that one before.
I haven't either.
Venting your spleen? No.
I've heard venting,
and as a person who has, seriously injured their spleen at one point in her life, this feels uncomfortable because
must be an old person, not a Midwestern thing. Venting. I don't know if look that up. Maybe I made it up. I don't know.
Maybe you made it up.
Michael's gonna find it.
Let me bring one other thing to the table,
please.
Which were my favorite side conversations, which were essentially it started with, how did you know it was AI? And he said, well, it just read like it. And then there was this whole discussion of what AI reads like, right? Like, it reiterates points over and over again. It uses M dashes. It, definitely tells and doesn't show. It rarely uses examples. There's a problem with humor. Like, there's all these things that people were throwing out there. And then there was this whole tip about how to get AI to sound less like AI. And like the different tools you could use to kind of make that, and AI checkers. And it was just it just kind of kept going. But the other part, I guess, that I did want to come back to that I thought maybe would be interesting to talk about briefly is how we talk about AI right now as like the Chat GPT and the Gemini and Claude and all those things. But so many of the conversations here pointed out tools that we use commonly that essentially have AI functions, like spell checkers and grammar suggestions and even GPS that like reroutes you and things like that. And so there was this whole conversation about, like, you can't bucket it all together as one thing. Like, would you have had the same criticism if your friend wrote something heartfelt and then used a spell checker and like cleaned up the language? Or so anyway, I was just kind of curious if you had any thoughts about those other aspects of AI.
I mean, all of these things are tools. And I'll use the example of some AIs that are being used to help in medicine, or being developed to help in medicine. On one hand, I want to see a doctor. I don't want to see an AI. On the other hand, there are tools being developed that can essentially scrape a person's chart and note connections that the research say, hey, based on these things that look completely disparate and not necessarily a thing, you should probably do this test because these are the kinds of things that might be indicative of. There's a recent research article I've talked about. I don't know if it was on this show or somewhere else, but that they've looked at older folks' use of password changing and other aspects of online banking to discern likelihood of dementia. Like that's phenomenal use of AI. I don't want to see a doctor for a diagnosis who's actually an AI, but I certainly don't mind my doctor running information through an AI to see if there's something that she missed when she saw me.
Yeah. So using AI as a screener or a starting point as opposed to the end point. It's a tool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's a tool. Yeah. And I think we use lots of I don't want an AI doing psychotherapy. And as of this broadcast, one state, I believe Illinois, has now banned the use of AI as a psychotherapist. Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. Mm-hmm. But are all uses of AI within mental health inappropriate? No, there probably are uses.
No, I have clients who come and say, I was really struggling this week and I was struggling with a particular thought and I put it into AI and it came up with some alternatives and that was really helpful.
Right, right. So
but they learned that process from me. Right. And we had a discussion about how to use that and why that's effective and all of those things. So
yeah, and anytime you're talking about a nascent technology, you're going to get like new uses and things like that, and we have to be really careful about how we use these sorts of tools, not overusing them or trying to make them things that they are not. But I also think we can't necessarily like, oh my gosh, this is all evil.
Yeah.
If I were writing obituary, I honestly might start by running their person's life through an AI and seeing what it spit out. I wouldn't use that, but I probably would use that as a starting point. I'll be totally honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I think sometimes what it does a really good job of is giving you kind of the starting point and structure and aspects to address that you might not have thought of. And so, incorporating those, warming them up, adding that human touch, but making sure to hit on those pieces or those conventions. Because it has so much information available to it in a way that humans just, we would be very slow at integrating and synthesizing.
Yeah. Well, thank you both for another, thanks for humoring me, I guess, and taking on this topic in the first place, I guess really is what I should say. But remember, morality is often shades of gray and not just let robots write for you or not.
And, AI doesn't have to be your cup of tea.
Oh, well done.
Michael, you can edit that on post, right?
It's good. Leave it in.
Please follow and share Veritas Views on the podcast platforms with your neighbors and friends. And as always, stick around through the credits for the bonus conversation and about, I don't know, perhaps it'll be tea again? Probably not.
You can follow Dr. Dan Kessler at Dr. Dan Kessler and Dr. Gayle MacBride at Dr. G. MacBride. Oh, and you can find them both at veritaspp.com. Credits. Tickling the Ivories, Matthew Reddington. Art, production, and design, bringing this show together with flair and finesse, Michelle Love. Recording and editing, turning chaos into something worth sharing, Michael MacBride. Intro, outro, I'm Kelly Buttrick, a VO talent who just happens to be Dr. MacBride's cousin. Cats, CJ, Linus, Sadie, and Griffin. Hosting by whomever lost the coin flip. Interruptions by all their children. The content of this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Listening to this podcast does not constitute a therapist-client relationship. If you believe you may be experiencing a mental health issue, please seek the assistance of a qualified mental health professional. If you are experiencing a mental health crisis, you can call or text 988 from anywhere in the U.S. to be connected to Crisis Mental Health Services.
Thanks for listening. As promised, here's that bonus conversation.
Okay, Gayle, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to try to lean into this just a little bit.
Okay.
As a coffee, tea, beer purist, what's the flavored thing that you think might shift my opinion? What flavored beverage, coffee, tea, whatever, might shift my opinion on beer should taste like beer, coffee should taste like coffee, tea should taste like tea?
Let me ask you this. Should beer taste like ice cream?
No.
Have you seen that at the Minnesota State Fair? The ice cream
beer?
The beer ice cream? I don't know which it is.
No.
I'm kind of curious. I don't like fruit beers, but I'm really curious.
It's soft serve.
What would shift your opinion?
It certainly wouldn't be beer ice cream.
Dan, I don't know. You're sort of stubborn and a purist.
Wait, I got one.
I say that as a loving rebuke.
I got one. What about flavored water? Like, do you like lemon in your water? Because like water, pure water, it's it's different. So.
Okay, it does break down there. Yeah, I do like that.
All right. Wow, Michael.
Yeah, you got me. You got me.
Smart one.
You got me. All right. Okay. I
challenge
yield.
Here. I invite our listeners. Here's the challenge. If you think there is a flavor of something out there that is going to move Dan's opinion,
Please
help us out. Drop it in the mailbag. Let's convince Dan to try something other than black tea, black coffee.
I like a good green tea also.
And a dark beer. I see the theme.
All right. We're out.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Tune in next week for a whole nother Am I the Asshole debate.
We love hearing from you, so please review us on Apple, Spotify, or, well, wherever you're listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please review, like, and follow. Also, give it a share. This helps us reach more listeners.